Welcome back. Now on to a topic that clearly is not nearly as emotional as anything else we discussed. Just kidding. This really stokes emotions. We're talking about immigration. Title 42 set to expire this week. People here and across the border are scrambling over how to deal with it. So let's bring in our guest tonight. He's back on the show. Republican strategist and host of the Barak Lurie Show, which you can find online. Barak Lurie, up late with me tonight, live on the Final Five to talk about it. Hey, it's good to see you again, Barak.
Thanks so much for having me. What a pleasure.
I feel like, oh, see, that means a lot to me. Hey, look, we know when it comes to immigration, this is something that stokes a lot of deep emotions, and rightfully so for a lot of people on both sides of the issue. Whether you believe the situation, I don't want to say fine, but you're fine with the status quo, or you want to see major changes there. Title 42 expires this week. We know that Greg Abbott and many other people on the border are preparing for this migrant surge. I mean, clearly, this mess is going to continue until something is done about it in Washington. The question is what?
Well, I don't think that Washington will do anything until such time as we have a new Republican president or some sort of awakening, some coming to Jesus moment when it comes to the immigration crisis. This is really bad stuff. Now, look, 42, once it gets lifted, we're going to have approximately 10,000 new illegal immigrants a day. And whether or not we actually enforce the border and actually apprehend them and then properly process them and then, of course, turn them away when we need to turn them away, that's another story. We've already gotten 5 million illegal immigrants in the past 2 years alone, and God only knows that's going to be a lot more once Title 42 lifts as well. So I just don't see any hope for some sort of curtailing unless we actively do something to actually patrol the border, fix the wall, make sure that we have a stay in Mexico policy like we did under Trump. Then things will work. I mean, the fact is that under Trump, the illegal immigration had gone down to a true trickle. And now, by reversing all those policies, we literally are seeing millions of illegal immigrants crossing the border. And we're all wondering, how can this be? How can this be? It shouldn't be this way. The answer is obvious.
Title 42 is not a legislative fix. It was a public health situation there, which is interesting. You know, that approach was taken. But as you said, it did what it was intended to do for the most part. 10 years ago, we had in the Senate actually passed some sort of bipartisan immigration reform, and you had the Gang of Eight, the likes of Bob Menendez and Marco Rubio, who were on the same issue. The House didn't take it up, nothing was addressed, and that was the last time we saw any sort of coalescence against something on the topic of immigration. You had Republicans, they had the White House, they had the House, they had Congress, they had the Senate. They had an opportunity. We didn't see any major action on that front a couple of years ago, aside from President Trump getting what he wanted in terms of border spending.
Well, I mean, look, he got what he wanted in terms of his executive authority. As president, he has the control over the border, and that's his key operation figure, and as well as other foreign policy, of course. So everything was working just fine until President Biden became president and started unraveling all the Trump policies. By the way, you're right about Title 42. It's simply a health measure, that is true, but it was a stopgap at very best. I'm not surprised that they're lifting Title 42 because, after all, the pandemic is over, so that's fair enough. But we need to understand that we need to do something akin to what Trump had done, and we all know that it works. Let's just go back to what Trump had done. I think it really resolves all the problems that we're dealing with right now: the fentanyl crisis, the crime crisis, the trafficking crisis that we're dealing with. I just think it's irresponsible not to go back to the way Trump had pursued it.
Republicans say they have a bill that they're going to vote on later this week, perhaps by Thursday, where they're looking at things like restricting asylum, where they're looking at things like stepping up some of that funding for parts of the border wall down there. President Biden has said he would veto that from the get-go there. I mean, do you see any Democrats? It would take, obviously, if you have some Democrats peel away, if it gets to the Senate, which I doubt Chuck Schumer would put that up for a vote, but if you had some Democrats speaking up about that, maybe the Kyrsten Sinemas, maybe the Joe Manchins, you might see some pressure on the president to do something.
Yeah, you would see that. Unfortunately, I don't think that this president will want to do anything because he's got either an agenda or he simply doesn't care about what's happening at the border. I mean, look, he's been saying that 90% of the border illegal immigration has gone down by 90%, when clearly that's not the case. So his policy has been to ignore what's happening at the border, really literally by doing nothing about the border. He sent down Kamala Harris to get to the root cause of the problem and so on, and nothing, of course, has happened. We're only seeing greater and greater influx every day, and they talk about other things, like whether or not we should have gas stoves. I mean, this is a real deal. This is a serious breach of this country. And this is the one responsibility that you could say about President Biden, to say you had one job, protect the country, and he's failing.
Well, we're going to see where this all goes as Title 42 expires later in the week. Barak Lurie, thank you for joining us again. Good to see you. I appreciate your time. Even though you're on the West Coast, it still is a little later than for the rest of us. So good to see you again.